In 1996, a law was passed requiring audits of government departments, and the Pentagon was the one department that never complied with the law. Now, a lot of people thought, well, that's weird. I thought they would comply. But anybody who really knows American politics well would be unsurprised by that, because the Pentagon probably has the most to hide. So Reuters conducted a very detailed investigation into this, into the Pentagon doing what they did here by avoiding that law, to try to get some real answers on their finances. And the findings are unreal. It's even worse than anybody could have ever guessed, including me. So they say this, quote, "The DoD has a backlog of more than $500 billion in unaudited contracts with outside vendors. How much of that money paid for actual goods and services delivered isn't known." Okay, so you're just getting a little taste here. $500 billion unaudited contracts, and they don't know how much of that actually paid for goods and services. Wait, it's going to get a lot crazier here. They say, over the past 10 years, the DoD has signed contracts for more than $3 trillion in goods and services. How much of that money is wasted in overpayments to contractors or was never spent and never remitted to the Treasury is a mystery. It's a mystery. Like it's an episode of Scooby-Doo. $3 trillion, Shaggy? $3 trillion. They're like, I don't know where it went. Ask Bob in accounting. Maybe he knows. $3 trillion. I'm still not done yet. The Pentagon uses a standard operating procedure to enter false numbers or plugs to cover lost or missing information in their accounting in order to submit a balanced budget to the Treasury. In 2012 alone, the Pentagon reported $9.22 billion in these reconciling amounts. Okay, what the fuck? Now it's just like they're trolling us. So do you understand what they're saying there? It was systemic to, if you don't have a balanced budget at the Pentagon, there were people whose job it was to pretend like they do have a balanced budget. And for 1 year alone, $9.22 billion was just made up to say, oh no, yeah, we totally balanced the budget, even though we're $9.22 billion short. But we totally balanced it, we promise. Here, we wrote it down on a sheet of paper. That proves it. Oh my God. I still haven't given you the biggest fact yet. So how much money is missing when you tally up all of the missing money from 1996 until today? Quote, it amounts to $8.5 trillion in taxpayer money doled out by Congress to the Pentagon since 1996 that has never been accounted for. $8.5 trillion. That number was so big, I'm not kidding here, I thought it was fake. But I went to Google and I tried to see the sources that were reporting it, because the first article I read was from Crooks and Liars. Crooks and Liars does a great job, but sometimes I read things there and I'm like, let me double check that. So I saw this and I was like, I gotta check this because I'm not going to do the story because it seems like it might be fake. Look it up. Yahoo Finance has an article. It's true that Reuters originally did the investigation. Washington Post has an article on it. It's true. $8.5 trillion. Missing. Quote, missing. At the Pentagon from 1996 until today. All right, let me explain something to you guys right now. I don't want to hear a fucking peep. I don't want to hear a half a peep or a fraction of a peep out of anybody in Congress saying we can't afford education spending, social safety net spending, healthcare spending, any of the good stuff, unless and until you address the biggest area of waste, fraud, and abuse and missing money, the Pentagon. I don't want to hear people. Don't tell me we can't afford. can't afford anything else until you first say, no, we got to get the $8.5 trillion back from the Pentagon. We got to have rigorous new standards in place. We got to have oversight committees to make sure this never happens again. $8.5 trillion in fraud this was. But since the government does it, and since the Congress is in cahoots with the Pentagon, they act like, what do you mean? It's just another day in Washington. $8.5 trillion in fraud that went missing. It's just, who cares, man? This is what we do here. There's still some people out there who think the military-industrial complex isn't a thing. Oh, don't be stupid, man. Look, it's not a formal conspiracy with people in a smoke-filled back room twisting their evil mustache and doing the Dr. Evil laugh. That's not what it is. It's just you have like interests that converge. And when that happens, people do fucked up shit and they don't even realize it's fucked up shit. And over time, it adds up.